Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Life Class. I am your host, the fabulous Dr. J, and I am excited about our discussion tonight as well as our guests. Welcome, Christy.
It's breaking up a little. I don't know if it's my connection or your connection. Like
It's
you're
probably
frozen
my
on my screen.
connection. It's probably my connection. We're just going to try to make it work. Cool. Let's start off by telling the viewers, just a little bit about yourself before
I
we
can't hear
jump into
anything.
this discussion. Okay, let me join from my phone and we're
I
gonna
can't hear anything.
okay.
Hello?
Can you hear now? You still can't hear?
Hello?
What about now?
You I can hear what about now and you froze up. Okay, now I can see you.
Okay. So is that better?
You're freezing.
It's still
Is
freezing
it
now
my
that I'm on my
connection? Well,
phone.
I have.
What can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Listen, we're just gonna make this work. I want you to start off by telling a little bit about
You just want
yourself.
to go.
Yes, just start
Okay.
about talking about yourself.
Well, my name is Christy Luckett. Everybody knows me by Bishop Christy. I owned a one of the most known boutiques in this area. So that's what most people know me by. Most people call me Bishop Christy, not by my real name. Most people don't even know my real name, but that's who I am right now. I am I'm running a staffing agency where I help people find work from home jobs, and I do resumes, interviews, and things of that nature.
Cool. I think the connection is not as good.
No. Do you want to just go live, or do you think it's within the app? Because I have all my bars, so I'm not sure. It
Really.
it's
How does it sound?
it sound better now than it was.
It sounds better.
Hmm.
Okay, what about you all watching? Can you all hear us? Are we coming through clear? Let us know. And you look beautiful, by the way.
And thank you.
I put a little glam together because I knew you was gonna bring it tonight.
I didn't honestly. I just threw this out. I just threw this out. I didn't even have time, honestly. So That's it. I don't even know what I was gonna say. Is it sharing streaming live? Because I think somebody just tagged me in something, and I can't go to Facebook and see it. I don't have my other phone. I left it in another room.
Yes, it's streaming live on my
You
page.
okay?
And people can they can
Okay.
comment,
Okay.
they can share, and we want people to be
Okay.
involved in this conversation because I
Okay.
know we're not the only ones that have dealt with, mean girls. Why are girls mean?
Okay.
So that's a discussion
I
that we're
think
going
it's
to be
something
having
that's
tonight.
okay. Okay. Well, I'm ready when you're ready.
So start off, telling a little bit more about yourself because just paint this picture of have you always dealt with, girls being mean because of the way you look?
Um,
Just kind of share your story dealing with that.
I honestly don't think it's because of the way I look. I think it has to do with what you're called to do. Like people can see your gift just like you know your gift. And I think when you're chosen, you're targeted. So I don't think it necessarily has to do with how I look. I think it has to do with who I am to, who I'm supposed to become. And so, they see your calling just like you know your calling. Yes, I have dealt with it most of my life. Like I've never fit into a crowd. I always been like pretty much a loner or whatever. I have a few friends, not many. I never ran in a clique.
Mhm.
You'll see me snap out quite a bit on social media. Like I'm always targeted for many reasons. It could be men, I'm dating somebody and maybe they dated somebody before me, or people make jokes, and I can take a joke and I can give a joke too. It'd be, several reasons, but I don't think it necessarily has to do with how I look. I think it's just who I am. You cut out. I don't know if you're saying something because you cut out. Hello? I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi.
No, no, that was me. I was on mute.
Okay, okay,
so So
okay.
you said you don't think it's because of your looks, it's because of your calling. Can you kind of talk more? Why you say it's not your looks? Because people don't really know your calling, but they see you, well put together, and it can make people feel some type of way.
I don't think I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I look. I think I'm just, a normal person. I don't think I'm above nobody else. I've never thought I was above, anybody. So I just see
Mhm.
me as me. I don't perceive myself how other people see me, but as I've grown and evolved, I get people telling me like I have a best friend. His name is Cord, and he always say, "Christy, you don't know who you are. Like I can't wait till you see who you really are, because people can see it, but you can't see it." I just think I'm a normal person, honestly, if that makes sense. But I
Well,
do,
I believe I believe we all have a purpose, I believe God, before he formed us in the womb, he knew us, but it's different with people. People
yes.
see us before they see our calling and see, so you know, even with the situation you dealt with the young lady yesterday, and we all was watching, you don't think that has anything to do with your looks?
I honestly don't want to speak. I don't want to drag that into today. Um, I I I don't have anything against that young lady, even today. Even after all the stuff she said, I don't have anything against her. I'm not sure what her issues with me are. Um, I heard it stemmed from something she said. I lashed out at her sister, and I posted the messages showing that me and your sister were, communicating after the fact. You said it started in 2020 because I said I got small with your sister, but your sister was inviting me places, calling me friend, sis, this, that, and the other. I don't know what her issues are. I honestly don't care, but I hope she heals. Honestly, I really didn't want to talk about that today, like, because I don't want nobody to think I'm targeting them. I don't want her to, you know how people think you beefing. I don't want nobody to think that we're on the same level where you can beef with me. I don't have any beef with her, any ill feelings. I hope she be blessed and thrive and get over whatever she has against me because I don't have anything against her.
So let me ask you this. How do you deal with conflict with other women?
I ignored like that situation. It had been going on for this year four. Honest, I had to think about it. It started 2020. This year four. I have been ignoring it, and the people that that knew of it, they've been saying I had been ignoring it for so long. I just started responding this year. Honestly, I honestly just started responding. So I'm kind of passive. I let stuff build up. Like while she was taunting me, I was creating an album of pictures. If I would have posted them pictures, she probably would have deleted her account. But I don't want to go so low where I embarrass somebody because I know how big my following is. And I looked at the numbers on the videos this morning. Some of them had 15,000 views. I don't never want to be that person to, cause somebody else to suffer. Even though you attack me, you started with me. I don't want to be that person. Like my heart ain't set up like that. Even though you came against me, I still got something in my heart. Be like, don't do that, Christy. So
And you said you kind of ignore conflict, and I think most people ignore conflict. Are we really dealing with it if we ignore it and let it build up?
I don't think we are. Honestly, I think you need to attack it head on when it first started. Because I think me being passive, I think me being passive make people think I'm afraid or I won't say nothing, and they keep on picking. Like some people be like, "You just need to ignore it." No, you don't need to ignore it because we see that this went on for 4 years. I think you need to hit it head on, like address it. Like, what is your problem with me? What do you have against me? Especially if you haven't done anything to the whoever is bothering you. Like, what is your problem with me? Like being passive like I was didn't resolve the issue because you seen what happened last night.
And you don't have to be mean when you have these tough conversations with people. You can just say, something happened the other day and I want to have a conversation with you about it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's how you approach the situation with that person. It doesn't have to be a nasty conversation. And if that person doesn't receive what you're saying, you just hold true to how you feel. No one can tell you how you felt. And so I'm used to having those tough conversations because I hate being in bed at night saying, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said that. I hate people making me feel that type of way. So I encourage people to say something the first time it happens.
I agree with you on that. I think if both parties, I'm like, if I knew I could go to that person and it would have been like a mature conversation, I probably would have addressed the head on. Like, somebody just asked me if it's the live on. I don't know how to share it to my page, but I share it afterwards. But well, I didn't want to touch nothing. Like even after the situation started with me and a young lady, after the fact of the first little argument, me and her sister started back communicating. So we honestly put it behind us or whatever. It was the one that continued to meddle me that had the problem that I had words with the last night. It was her that continued to have a problem because her sister still wanted to be friends. So I think I should have talked it over with her sister or whatever. Like we should have just addressed instead of like walking away from and not addressing it. I think we should have addressed it and resolved it, and then we probably could have moved further in a better way instead of falling out. But we were never friends. We were just cordial.
Right, right, right. So what would you say to women who are watching who's dealing with similar situation? What advice would you give them?
Don't be passive. That's one thing because I think it makes it explode when you do confront the
Yep.
person because like I tried to resolve it by okay, first I unfollowed them and then I blocked them and then people and I was telling people don't send me nothing they post because I know my attitude. I know when once I get, to my limit, I'm gonna lash out or whatever. And so when I got the screenshot yesterday, I was driving. I was like, we finna go heads up today or whatever. So I would suggest don't let it boil over like it did for me. Like when you notice it, address it then. Because I've been new, but I just kept letting it build up.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. To let people know how you feel. Don't let it build up, because when it build up, it's going to be bad for the person on the other side of that. So
Yeah.
definitely have those tough conversations. We have to practice um, having those tough conversations, because practice makes improvement.
Hmm. That's
So
true.
don't be
It
afraid.
does.
Don't be afraid to have those. And one of my friends taught me that, because I used to be the same way and just, didn't like conflict. But now, listen, I'm ready at all times.
Yeah. I don't, I want I never like, even though it may seem like confrontation, and I think like once you have a big following, like you're gonna get, I know, like I'm gonna use Beyonce for an example. I know she gets targeted every day. And I ain't even on Beyonce level. It's every month I'm arguing with somebody. Somebody come like, once you build that platform and people see you and they perceive you a certain way, even if you're not that way, they're gonna start targeting you. And I I come off as confrontational because I lash back out. And that's something that I'm working on with me. Like I try to ignore, but ignore isn't helping the situation or whatever. So
And you can only ignore so much,
mhm.
when, I don't know if it's different people or the same person, but you get tired, and sometimes you may having a bad day, and today may be that day that, hey,
Yeah.
I have ignored them. Then, hey, I'm gonna say something today.
Yeah. I think that was the issue yesterday because I had a busy day yesterday, and I'm rushing trying to get home, and I'm not even. It's one thing when you're not bothering a person or whatever, and they continuously bother
Mhm.
you. That makes it worse. So that makes it worse.
Somebody calling.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to kind of dive deeper into this conversation of, you say you don't have many friends. Is there a reason that you don't have many friends?
I don't trust people. I don't. Um, I'm very closed off because of a lot of stuff that I went through or whatever. Like, that situation, like you're inboxing me asking me what job I'm going to take, or friend this and friend that. Think situations like that cause me not to trust people. Like, are you genuinely trying to be my friend, or do you just want to know my business? So I'm pretty much a loner. I deal with my family. I have friends.
I really think it's super sad that we have to deal with, not trusting people because of different things that have happened to us. Let me actually getting a phone call. Until she's come back, let me.
I'm sorry, somebody kept calling me. Okay.
No
I don't.
problem. Look, when
Uh,
they call, it's gonna interrupt the feed. So
okay. I'm not trusting to so many people. Like, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm pretty closed off. I don't trust a lot of people. I know like everybody ain't genuine, and I have a big heart, and people tend to take advantage of it. So no, um, I don't have a lot of friends.
And I understand that, because once you've been hurt, by your friends, people close to you, it makes you put up that wall.
Yeah.
but we still have to keep trying, and and I know it's difficult.
Hmm.
But let's discuss some insecurities or fears that kind of fuel mean-spirited behavior among women. What are some
Um,
of those things that you think that make women act the way they act?
oh, I think when women don't know who they are as a woman and they see another woman, and I'm not even speaking for me. I'm just speaking in general. Like, we can say, like, just think about when we were in elementary school. It was always this pretty girl with long hair. You know how she got targeted by by people like pulling her hair and bullying her and things like that. It's women like that that are adults. Like, it's mean spirited, jealous hearted women like that as adults. Like, they may see a woman that's put together, that dress nice. She might not even be dressing nice to get the attention of people. This is just who she is or whatever.
Right.
Certain people carry themselves a certain way. And if a woman don't know how to carry herself that certain way, it may intimidate, other women, or, they'll come up with this thing like she thinks she more than, everybody else. No, that's what you think. You're projecting what you see. Like, you're projecting your insecurities onto her. She don't think she's all that. You think she's all of it. So I think it's women, like, people don't know who they are as a person yet. Like, they haven't developed or evolved into who they're supposed to be. And so if you are who you're supposed to be, you may make them insecure or feel a certain type of way,
And
if that makes sense.
it does because women have to do the work. A lot
Yeah.
of us are walking around with unresolved childhood trauma. And
Mm-hmm.
until we really be intentional about healing and doing that work, you're going to see the same old women, taking dabs at people because they haven't, healed on the inside.
True. And what I've noticed is, like, women who are together, like career driven women that are healed and whole, they don't, and busy and, got that stuff going on, they don't pick on people. I've never seen a woman that, got it together picking on something. We don't have time. I don't sit up and target nobody. Like, that's the last thing on my mind is sitting on social media picking apart somebody else. I ain't got time to pick apart, nobody else. I think, like, if you find yourself picking on somebody every day constantly, you're lacking something in life. There are some things that you need to work on with yourself and with your life that's causing you to pick on somebody. If you got that much time to sit up and pick apart what somebody, else is doing, you ain't got enough going on with yourself. Like, I don't have that much time to sit up and say, "Oh, Dr. J ain't got this, or she doing this, or she wearing this, or her children got this." Like, I don't have that much time to watch it.
Right, right. You remember they used to tell us when we was kids, idle mind is the devil workshop.
Yes, it
You know,
definitely is. It
when you
definitely is.
got too much time on your end because I'm busy trying to reach goals. I'm not
Yeah.
worrying about what nobody else is doing, who they doing it with, any of that. I think
Right.
life is too short for people to not live their dreams.
Right. And then, especially at this age, like, I'm like, okay, I'm 45. I don't want to sell clothes no more. Like, that somebody asked me today, when you gonna start back? I said, well, I ordered clothes, but I don't want to try them on. Like, I think that chapter for me is closed. So
Really?
I don't I don't want to do it anymore.
And
It's
we
not a
love watching you.
yeah, I don't, honestly, it's not that chapter for me. I was gonna relaunch. I bought merchandise. It's just not something I
Really?
want to do. Mm-mm. My heart is not
Wow.
there anymore. So I'm soul
I
searching
understand that.
on what the next phase of my life is. So that's my focus right now. Like, okay, I just finished school, for this data analyst course. Now I'm gonna go to school for something else. Like, I'm trying to build me up for the next phase of my life because I know, what my family, how long the women in my life and boy in my family, I know how long our life expectancy is. We die like 98, 99. So I'm like, okay, I got
Wow.
40 good more years. So I still can do some stuff. And my
Oh,
mama's
wow.
68. She's still around working, healthy, driving. She don't have no medical issues. So I'm like, okay, my mama's 68. I'm 45. So I still got time. I got time to work on some stuff. So that's my focus right now. Like, it's not. being a mean
You
girl.
you remember we thought 45 and
Was
6 to 8 was
old.
old, and that's not even
It's
old.
my mama get out more than I do. If my friends will text me like, "Girl, your mama tailgate," and I be at home. No, it's not old at all. It's definitely not.
And then I heard you say that somebody told you to dress your age. What is
They,
that?
I,
How do you
I
dress
get
your
that all the
age?
time. They was like, you be having your stomach out and these shorts on. Like, I get that from a lot of young girls. Like, you need to, when they be picking, I'm like, you must be mad because I still look good. I look better than you at 45 and you in your 20s. It's like, what is the issue? Like, if you're going to attack me, I'm going to come back with some jokes now. If you, one thing I can say, if you want to give a joke,
And
make
who
sure you can
came
catch
up
one.
with this
I don't
thing or
know.
mindset that you have to dress your age? You have to wear a certain thing.
I don't know. I've always been into fashion, so I know what the latest trends are, and I'm aware. I'm aware whatever the trends are that I think are age appropriate for me and my style. I'm gonna put it on. So y'all gonna see me with some shorts on all summer. I know y'all say I need to take the shorts off and the crop tops, but I'm gonna wear them not all summer. I'm gonna wear them all winter with some boots and stuff. Sorry, but I don't know.
Look, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all.
I'm sorry.
Listen, when you hear when you hear the phrase empower women, what comes to mind?
Um, I think strong-minded, like-minded, um, go let me go getters, like women pouring into each other. Like we on this thing, even though you invited me, there are gonna be some things that I pick up from you. It's gonna be some things you pick up from me. Like we're pouring into each other or whatever.
Iron
Like
sharpens iron.
yeah, yeah, it does. Cause I remember when I first started, like last night, you told me it ain't nothing wrong with it. You was like, it go for it, like respond. I remember you encouraging me to say something because I was like, I don't ever say nothing, but yeah, I think that's what it means.
Right. Man, we got a voice and we have to use it. I remember being younger and, being picked on. And I have older sisters. They've never taken up for me. I'm always taking up for them. And, when I realized that I had a voice, I made a commitment to myself to never let anybody take my voice from me again because that's what people try to do. All them people that be in your inbox and stuff, be trying to what they say, knock you down off your high horse, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that they be trying to kill that little, whatever is inside of you, like your high self esteem, your knowing of who you are. I was teased in school. I was always the darkest person in my class. So I was teased for that, and I had big teeth. But I'm glad I was
Really.
the darkest person in my class.
And I
And
think that's really, we don't talk about how the light skin versus dark skin because as a little girl, they used to call me white girl, white woman. What is this white girl doing here? And just can you imagine in the mind of a child, like why they think I'm white?
right.
Just because I'm different or, I was
Mhm.
lighter than the rest of them. And I
Mhm.
can just only imagine what you went through with the opposite.
Yeah, I was always chocolate chip cookie or burnt this or burnt that. Yeah. It now back in the day, it used to hurt my feelings. I remember my mama having to come to the school because back then I couldn't drink. Like I was third grade. I remember my teacher name and everything. They used to always call me burnt chocolate chip cookie. And I remember going home. I was the youngest child or whatever, so I was the baby, and I didn't know how to defend myself or whatever. So
And that's a big part of all of our upbringing. At school, you're going to get picked. Whatever is wrong with you, they going to let you
mhm.
know. If you got
Oh,
big
they is.
teeth, big ears, or whatever,
They
they going to
gonna
let you know at school.
well, yeah, I had big teeth and I was dark. So, and I think that like going through that, it developed me mentally, gave me that tough skin that I need today. Like nothing nobody says to me bothers me. Like I don't go to sleep saying, "Oh, she said blah 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 blah," and I'm worried about it. Man, that stuff rolls. Like I don't give it a second thought. Like so I'm kind of glad I went through it because it don't phase me. Like I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table, so you can call me black, ugly. Like they say the worst of the worst of me, and I'll
Yeah, I've
be
been
filthy.
stopped watching. Say it again.
Oh, you cut out, I didn't hear you.
People sending me text me. People sending me text messages while I'm live, and I'm like, "Will y'all stop texting me?" Just like people calling you. I'm gonna have to put "do not disturb" on.
Yeah. I didn't even think
But
about it, but
you know, the fact that going through this as a child, third and fourth grade, being picked on. I remember the boys picked on me more than the girls did.
oh
Did
yeah.
you, was it just the girls that picked on you or the girls and boys?
It really wasn't even a girl. It was the boys. And then they would later. I remember somebody came up to me. We was in high school. No, this was recently too on TikTok. One of my classmates was like, he was like, I always had the biggest crush on you. And I was like, you used to do me so bad in school. He was like, I had a crush on you. I think a lot of times it be because guys don't know or whatever. I was like, you used to do me so
Especially when you're
bad.
young, you
Yeah,
don't have the words to tell people I like you or I want to be your friend or you know what I'm saying? So they
yeah,
doing all these weird things to try to get close to you, but not knowing that they pushing you away. And it's like, why you just say that?
right. I think guys are still to this day. I say that like they're a little. I don't know what to say. I don't want to say nothing and be offensive, but they're different. They express themselves differently.
Let's talk about self-worth. How can women build a sense of self-worth that's, independent of, others' approval?
One thing I did was I did therapy one time. My self worth came from like resolving issues that I had like with the jokes in elementary school, or
Mhm.
I had to resolve those issues. I did a lot of therapy. I did coaching. I used to watch YouTube videos, like little meditation videos, where they give you affirmations. Then I just had to look at myself and be like, okay, Christy, this is who you are. Like you got to be happy with who you are. This is who God blessed you to be. This is who He created you to be. And just walk in and just know, like, okay, this is me, and I accept myself. I might look different from the next person. I might be heavy. I might be short. I might be dark. But to me, I'm everything. Like I love everything about me. Like I think that's one thing, you got to love who you are, even though you might look different than what your version of beautiful is, or what society version of beauty is. You got to love you, for who you are, who God created you to be. That's me. But I do a lot of affirming, writing, meditating, a lot of that.
All of that, when he said, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you by name. I set
Yeah.
you apart as a prophet to the nation." Once I start reciting all these scriptures and reminding myself who I am and how God designed me, I don't care what nobody else think. God thinks I am to die for.
Right. Right.
So everybody got an opinion about something, and most of these people that's talking, they don't even know who they are. So how can they say anything about
Right.
anybody?
They're not even happy with themselves, because if people that are happy with themselves, happy people ain't out here stirring up strife or mess, or always in drama, always picking on people. Happy people are not doing it. Whole people don't move like that. Like whole people be trying to heal other people. When you're whole, your heart is pure. Like it would
Yep.
hurt you to hurt somebody else. Like doing what I did last night bothered me, but I'm retaliating. But at the end of the day, it bothered me. Like I was catching myself before I said stuff. I was like,
Yep.
Christy, don't do that. So.
Yep. And that means you have a conscience. And most people
Hmm.
don't have a conscience. And the Holy Spirit convict me and be telling me like, that's not right. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have did that. And it's just like, you right. I feel
Yeah.
bad. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even have that. They don't feel bad.
Oh, I have a terrible conscience. Like I catch myself while I'm doing some. Like some people be like, "You need to do this." And I was like, "God to get me." That I'm quick to say, "God to get me for that."
Yep. And so I try not to do anything that I won't want nobody, doing to me. And especially this year, I just have been intentionally about doing right with the little if I want
Mm.
God to bless me with more.
With the
You know,
well,
if we ain't doing right with the little God bless us with, why would He give us
give you
more to
more.
mess up?
Right. I'm with you on
I
that.
don't even think people think like that.
No, a lot is, everybody rich today. Everybody is rich on social media, so no, they don't think like that.
And it's not even about money. You know, God showed me to not chase money, but to chase peace. A lot of people around here have money, but they don't have peace. And
None.
so I can get money, money come and go. You know what I'm saying? But peace that
Hmm.
surpass all understanding, a lot of people don't have peace.
Yeah, I agree with you on it.
So let's talk about, why do you think society is often critical of women who are both beautiful and smart?
I don't think they think you can be both. I don't. I think they think you just have to be one or the other. Like, why I can't be beautiful and intelligent? Why I can't, be beautiful and have a brain or whatever, and strong or whatever? Like, why I just got to be? I just got to pick one. Either I'm cute, or I'm smart, or I'm strong. I can't be all three. Like, and then if you all three, they're gonna try to break you down. Like they try to, tone you down a notch. I don't like that. I can be all three.
And again, that says a lot about that person, because I always admired people who were smart and beautiful, and if you don't have anything to offer, if your conversation is not, interesting, you can't even talk about different things, then it's like, okay, I know this conversation is not going very far. So
All right.
you got to be able, I mean, just meet people where they are, because in life we're going to meet a variety of people on different levels. And that's one thing about me. I can have a conversation with people at the dope house, and I can have a conversation with people at the
Right.
White House. So
Right. Me too. Like you the best of both worlds. Like I am too.
and that's how we got to be in this world. So I guess, what advice would you give to women who want to own their own business and need to get their hustle on, but they don't know where to start?
I think one thing that held me back for so long, because I always knew like my first business was a store. I always knew I was gonna own a store like from a child. Like I used to write about it. I
Wow.
write everything. So I knew like I was gonna be into fashion, I was gonna own a store. What held me back so long was fear. Like um, ain't nobody gonna shop with me, this, that, another. And even when I open, people like, she ain't gonna stay open, I ain't gonna shop with her, ain't nobody gonna support her. Like I come from a small town, and the small town had that crabs in the bucket mentality where they try to pull you down, or if you ain't with the cliques, they don't want to deal with you. But fear kept me from doing it so long. So when I finally opened, I opened in can. My phone on 10%. But I opened in Canton my aunt's salon. She had an extra room in her salon. My number one customer wasn't Ken. People were coming from Jackson, Madison, Flora, Yazoo. They was coming from surrounding areas. So when I noticed that my number one clientele wasn't Ken, I moved. I moved to Ridge or whatever, and my warehouse was there. But and then eventually I just went online. Then I closed. But um, fear. Don't be fearful, and don't worry about no money because I started. I started. I didn't get a loan. The only loan I ever got was PPP money, and that was because the bank that my business was through, the loan manager kept coming to me. His name was Dave. He kept coming to me. He was like, "Christy, apply for this," and so I finally applied. But don't worry about the money if it's of God provision gonna come. Because I just flipped one check. I worked at AT&T and T, and I cleaned people houses in the morning. And one of my first housekeeping checks, I bought a pack of clothes. And then I sold it and flipped it and flipped it and flipped. I flipped until, it turned into $500,000. Like, and that was 2020. After
Wow.
me in 2021, we did we did more than it. Like it just kept growing or whatever. So I wouldn't care, tune out what people gonna say. Because your home base is not gonna be your target market. They're not gonna support you. Tune out what they say. Focus on the surrounding areas. And then God kept saying, stop limiting yourself. I was going to the word center then, and we used to do praise, and God would just give, like, while we were doing praise, it would be in my spirit. It would be in my spirit, like global, like I'm gonna make you known nationwide. And I would get orders
Wow.
from different countries. I would look at my website, and it would be people from China logging on, everywhere. So,
Wow.
and he did give me that nationwide. He was like, I'm gonna make your name great. And then that was when Melissa reached out to me and was like, we want to do a segment on you. So
Wow.
just focus out, tune out what your haters gonna say, and your haters gonna be the people that know you. You'll never be well received in the city that you're in. So if you're in Jackson, Jackson might not be the audience for you. Market to
Jesus
Atlanta.
told us that.
I know.
Jesus told us,
I didn't
Jesus
want to go
said, a
check.
prophet has no honor in his own
I didn't want to
hometown.
go bow because I've been saying God and this. I was trying to take, not go to the scripture, but yeah, it is. You will not be welcome in your city. You got to go elsewhere.
But if the scripture what guide our life, why we try to pull away from it to make other people feel comfortable?
Um, because I try to make other people feel comfortable. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't want to be too churchy, but no, it's in the
And
Bible. It's
I wouldn't even say too churchy. They're just
mhm,
being who you are.
yeah.
Because when you learn better, you do better. We used to, I guess, look differently at people back in the day when everything about God this and God that. But now we understand why.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think
So
it's just fluent because and this in the Bible too. Like whatever's in your heart is gonna come out of you. So this is in my heart. Like it's and even though I'm trying to tone it down for your show. Like I don't want to be too churchy. Like it's still flowing out of me. But back
be
to your
yourself.
thing.
Be
Yeah,
be yourself. When God
okay.
said He's going to take you global, He's going to take you global being yourself, not you turning down who you are for the show, for anybody else. Always show up as Christy, no matter who's in the room, no matter what's going on, period.
You're right.
So that's how you become your best self because hey, it's somebody in that room that needs, you know what I'm saying, what you holding back. And
You're
I
right.
tell people, even when, that book they want to write, that job, that business they want to start, it's somebody that can benefit from that. And you not being obedient, you blocking somebody else's blessing.
You're right. You're definitely right about that. But
So
yeah. Um, don't focus on what people say. Don't worry about the money. Because I remember my opening day, I had $7 in the register. That's what I
wow,
opened with, $7. And
wow.
I sold out of everything. I think I made like over $1,000 that day. I thought I was doing something. So I was like, and I got in front of the church. I was like, I made over $1,000. I'm gonna pay my tithes. uh, so just and be different. Like try new things. Cause I remember I had my daughter. Um, I was afraid that I was gonna close because I had gained weight. Like I was smaller than I am now prior to her. Um,
Really?
I was petite like. I didn't have I had hips, but they wasn't this wide, and I had butt, but it was. I was like 150, 160 prior to her. I'm 180 now. So when I had her, my hips spread. I guess because it was a late pregnancy, and so I was worried about not being able to sell my clothes because I had gained so much weight. And it was like once I had her and I gained weight, that's when my business grew. Honestly, I went
How
from
did
doing
you sold more?
yes, I sold more. I went from doing like when I first was in business, I was doing like $100,000 a year, like probably $150,000 a year. I went from doing it to I had her 2018. I think I did like $300,000 a year, doing clothes, and then it just grew or whatever. But I sold more, and then I did different stuff
Wow.
like I did pop up shops in Canton on the side of the road. And I used to always wonder why people sell clothes on the side of the road until I started selling clothes on the side of the road. I see why they be out there. You make a lot of money.
Mhm.
You make a lot of
Yep,
money
yep, yep.
on the side of the road. So be different.
Wow, wow, wow. Be different. Be different.
Yeah.
What other advice will you give people that's listening, that's tuning in? We almost at the end of the show, and so I want you to give people any advice. It may be a young girl out there watching who just don't know, who they are. What advice do you have for them?
I always put you first. That's my thing now. I always put you first, and I always go with your first mind. Don't think about what people, say. Like, tune all of that out. Like it was a lot of things that I wish I would have did that I didn't do, trying to, do other stuff. Like, I wish I prior to having my son, I wish I would have, went ahead and graduated college, but I was so focused on his dad. Like, don't choose love over your education. Don't choose love over your career or whatever. And then if your first mind or your spirit tell you something, follow it. Like I'm big on if I
Oh,
meet
yep.
somebody and my first mind say, be rolling with or if I'm somewhere and my spirit start feeling fun, I know that person ain't for me. I ain't even got to see no signs. My spirit is warning me. This person, I'm
Yep.
giving you this eerie feeling because this person ain't for you. Trust it. So now I'm big on trusting it. And take time to yourself. Like people be rushing you. Like people be attacking me saying she can't keep no man. I don't want no man. Like my primary focus is not a man right now. Like
Hmm.
I'm set in my ways to where I couldn't possibly deal with nobody every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's don't they don't even bother me. They're like, that's one of their first thing they say. This man, they be beating my phone down trying to get me back. I just don't want to deal with nobody. So I always
I can't
choose
even
you
imagine sleeping in the bed with nobody,
every night.
sharing the
Me,
bathroom, none of that.
I did that. I did that for like in 20. My last relationship was 2022. We dated for like a year. And I was miserable because we was together. Like that's not for me, not right now.
Really?
It may be for me in the future, but I'm so used to being by myself that it was just driving me crazy that we would have to be in the house every day with each other. Go home 3 days a week. Let me miss
Look, I
you.
hadn't even met nobody that I won't even talk to every day. Like I hadn't even met
Me
one
either.
person on this earth that I want to talk to every day. So
Me either. I was
I
trying to date
understand.
somebody, and like after a few weeks, I was like, I don't want to do this no more or whatever. So choose you, follow your dreams, get you together first before you try to share you with somebody else.
Cool, cool, cool. So before we wrap up, tell our viewers how they can support you, how they can follow you, what you got going on.
Well, right now I'm trying to build my Instagram page back up. Instagram deleted me. People will report my page, and I think I was like at 35,000 followers. So follow
Wow.
me on Instagram at Bishop Christie. I'm trying to get that built back up. On Facebook, on Parker Jessica Sarah. Facebook would not let me change my name for some reason. Um, so follow me on there, and TikTok on Bishop Christie. Everything else on Bishop Christie, with resumes. If you need a work from home job, on site job, you need a resume, some interview coaching, you can contact me by email at bishopchristystaffing at gmail.com. That's pretty much it.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so, so much
And you're welcome.
for this conversation.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you just sharing the information that you did and just taking time out to be here today. So thank you so, so much.
And you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem. No problem.
All right.
Thank
Bye
you
bye.
all for watching. Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you all for watching. We appreciate you all tuning in to Life Class. Make sure you all tune in next week. We're going to have Miss Fumi, I want to say Queen Fumi Franklin, and she's going to be talking about um, turning pain into power through intentional healing. So you don't want to miss us next week. So make sure you all tune in, and we will see you all next week. Bye bye.